So in Vernon, our policy is we're always going to make entry on every call we have, okay, whether there's something showing or not. So water flow with the reset, without a reset, no matter what it is, we always go in, we always investigate, we try and re-secure when we're done so that we don't have to babysit the building. So we've gotten really good at pulling hinges. This technique doesn't work on the welded hinges, but it works probably 75% of the time, I've found. We like to use bolt cutters for this technique. We're going to use the bolt cutters to pinch the pins. Okay, we're not cutting the pin head off. We're going to pinch the pins and we're going to drive or strike up. Okay, when you're striking on your bolt cutters, our bolt cutters don't have it, but I want to always strike on the head of these bolt cutter bolts. Okay, on the back side, ours has a plate, so it's not that big of a deal, but some of them have nuts. If I'm striking on that side, I can mushroom the other side of the bolt or even the nut. If I got to replace these tips, it's going to make it a hell of a lot more difficult. So if you can, always strike on the bolt head side. If you have long bolt cutters, if I'm holding them at the end and I'm trying to line that up on a pin and squeeze, it's going to be difficult. So Domer is going to hold on to that, and all I'm going to do is line that up for him. Tell him go ahead and pinch it. He's just putting a little bit of pressure on it. I'm going to grab my Halligan, give it a couple taps up, we've removed the pin. Remove all 3 pins, put them in your pocket. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you put them on the ground, what do? We kick them in the bushes. Okay, so make sure they go in the pocket. For our door prop, please only remove 1 pin at a time. Okay, remove the middle one, put it back in. Remove the top one, put it back in. That way we don't have to worry about rehanging our door. Good? Realistically though, you're going to remove all 3 pins, and that's half the battle. We still got to pull the door from the frame. You could put your adze between the frame and the door and try and pull it back, but chances are that's not going to work well for you. The tightest gap on these doors is typically on the hinge side. Your widest gap is typically on your latch side. So for me to try and get this adze behind the door and the frame is going to be tough. So what I like to do, knowing most of the time my door's flush with the building, I put my Halligan flat against the building itself. I use the pick and I capture one portion of the hinge that's attached to the door. And I just kind of pivot that out. High, middle, low, just work my way around. If I need to, I can even drop the pick in one of the hinges, give it a couple good pops, see if that works. Once this door is moved a little bit, then maybe I can get my adze behind it and pry it the rest of the way. Once I've removed it from the hinges on this side, I pull it straight out from the lock, put it against the building, and we do our investigation, okay? What may give you issues here when you're pulling it, removing it from that lock, sometimes they have that automatic closer up top that's gonna bind on you. You should be able to get a couple feet opening so that you can still go in and invest. Good? To re-secure, if it has a key and knob style lock on it, okay, what I can do is I can put the door back in the hinge, put the pins in, lock the door, shut it, we're good to go. If it has like a deadbolt or something that I can't really lock from the inside and then close the door, what I have to do is activate the deadbolt, fish the deadbolt into the frame, and then push the door closed, drop the pins in. Sometimes a couple guys, what we'll do too is on that deadbolt, you know how most of them have that lever, just the quarter turn lever? We'll hang it on this side, we'll close it, but we'll put a little string on that deadbolt. And we'll pull down once it's closed, activating that deadbolt. Takes a little bit more finesse. If you guys have patience for that, that's something you could try. Most of the time, we'll just kind of fish that deadbolt in, shut it. Questions there? How many of you guys pull pins? A couple? Very rarely? We do it. We do it. It works well. That way we don't have to babysit the building.